find at least one more time, I'm releasing from the bloody street again. Right? I'll see you at the Doss House later on. One more 4p in each trembler. Just one more. Scenes of my childhood arise before my gaze, bringing recollections of bygone happy days. And down in the meadow in childhood I would roam. No one's left to cheer me now within that good old home. Father and mother, they have passed away. Sister and brother, now they beneath the clay. But while life does remain, to cheer me I'll retain this small violet I plucked from my mother's grave. Only a violet I plucked when but a boy, and oft times when I'm sad at heart, this flower has given me joy. But while life does remain, to cheer me I'll retain a small violet I plucked from my mother's grave. Well, I remember my dear old mother's smile, as she used to greet me when I returned from toil, always knitting in the old armchair. Father used to sit and read for all us children there. Now all is silent around the good old home. They all have left me in sorrow here to roam. So while life does remain, in memoriam I'll retain this small violet I plucked from my mother's grave. Hello? Who's that then? Millie, I swear to God, if that's you trying to scare me, you're going to get the back of my bloody hand. Millie! Oh, Christ. You nearly scared me half to death. Sorry about that. Anyway, good evening, handsome. You in for some company tonight? Not really one for talking, eh? But that's alright. So I'm going to take really good care of you, sweetheart. You don't have to do a damn thing. Just relax. Right, listen up, because this is coming directly from the palace. This new most ghastly murder shows the absolute necessity for some very decided action. All these courts must be lit and our detectives improved. Signed, Her Majesty Queen Victoria. We're not what we should be, I mean improved. Well, with all due respect, Your Majesty, I'd love to see you climb off your throne of wealth and entitlement, come down here to the dustbin and get your own hands dirty. This is the sight we saw. I can't drive it away from my mind. It looked more like the work of the devil than that of a man. No Englishman is capable of crimes such as these. I declare to God that I never, ever in my life expected to see a sight such as that, and I hope and pray that I never see such a sight again. But this poor girl's dreadful death has compelled over 100,000 Londoners to reflect on what it must be like to have no home at all except for the common kitchen of a low lodging house, and to sit there sick and weak and bruised and wretched for lack of 4p with which to pay for the right of a doss. and to be turned out after midnight to earn the requisite pence anyway and anyhow, and in earning it, to come across your murderer and to caress your assassin. It should be noted that the fury of the mutilations increased in each case, and seemingly the appetite was only sharpened by indulgence. A man didn't do this. A monster did. How do you catch a monster?
It was him. It was him. Fuck, he's real. It's fucking real. How can somebody do that to another person? I've never seen that much blood in my life. It was everywhere. I can see her inside. Come on, please. Why isn't it coming up?
Yeah, her throat had been slit from left to right, straight across. When I touched her face, and it was still warm. And I thought her chest was moving up and down, but her hands, they were cold and limp. I even remember saying that I think she's still breathing, but very little, if she is. She was laid on her back, and her clothes were all disarranged, and her bonnet was off and lying at her side, and her eyes were open. She looked frozen in fear. When I eventually gathered myself, I tried desperately to find someone, anyone, but there wasn't a soul about, and here we are. Look, officer, it's been a really long night, and that's all I can remember. So if you haven't got any more questions, I'd love to go home and try and get some sleep. I've got work later on. Am I free to go? Right, if I can have your attention, please. Thank you. Today we received a letter forwarded from the Central News Agency, dated the 25th of September 1888. It reads, "Dear boss, I keep hearing that the police have called me, but they won't fix me just yet. I have laughed when they look so clever and talk about being on the right track. That joke about leather apron gave me real fits. I'm down on horse and I shan't quit ripping them till I do get buckled. Grand work the last job was. I gave the lady no time to squeal. How can they catch me now? I love my work and I want to start again. You will soon hear of me with my funny little games. I saved some of the proper red stuff in a ginger beer bottle over the last job to write with. But it went thick like glue and I can't use it. Red ink is fit enough, I hope. Ha ha. The next job I do, I shall clip the lady's ears off and send to the police officers, just for jolly, wouldn't you? Keep this letter back till I do a bit more work, then give it out straight. My knife's so nice and sharp, and I want to get to work right away if I get the chance. Good luck. Yours truly, Jack the Ripper." Don't mind me giving the trade name. Wasn't good enough to post this before I got all the red ink off my hands. Curse it. No luck yet. They say I'm a doctor line. Haha. This man is unquestionably mad, and anyone who met him face to face surely would know it.
This has to stop. London is living in a constant state of fear. Just what exactly have you been doing to try and find this maniac? Do your fucking job. What are you getting paid for? How many more women are you going to let be murdered and mutilated for this animal's personal pleasure?
Who is that? Are you him? Are you the Ripper? Why are you doing this? Tell me. Those poor girls, you cut them to pieces. People are terrified and walk the streets at night because of you. Why are you doing this? Tell me. Answer me! I don't understand. Wake up. The Whitechapel murder isn't James Maybury, if it isn't Montague John Druid, if it isn't Klazowski or Kosminski, Ostrog or Pitzer, James Thomas Sadler or Francis Tumblety, William Henry Bury, Carl Fagenbaum, a mad midwife, R.B. Le Brookman, Robert Donation Stevenson, Sir John Williams or Sir Charles Warren, then who is the Ripper? I don't know. Why would I know who he is? 12. 12? 12 o'clock. What is it that's got two identical faces which are as different as night and day? You're lying. You're a liar. I won't hear anymore. Take a look at your life as if it were a series of events. Shall I marry or devote my life to work? Shall I pay for this pocket watch or simply take it? Shall I allow this rude fellow in the pub to insult me or shall I smash my fist into his face? Deep within you there is a man who did choose to smite the rude man, who did choose to steal the pocket watch. Imagine if we could set that man free, the man buried inside. We could bring a physical manifestation to the soul within! If you truly are what's inside of me, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that you never, ever see the light of day again! The light I work in the shadows. The darkness, even at noon, is so great that the dwellings and places of business have to be lit with gas as at night. This is not a joke. You're killing innocent women. You're mutilating daughters, sisters, mothers. These girls have families. They have lives. Innocent. Those riddled whores are barely even human. You have no idea what it feels like to stab another person until they finally stop moving. It's exhilarating like nothing else. Maybe you do know what that feels like somewhere deep down. Stop it. You need help. No more than you do. Check your left pocket. No. Now, why would you be scared to do that, eh? It's your pocket. I have for years suffered from a singular disease which induces an all-absorbing passion. This passion manifests itself in a desire to kill and mutilate every woman who falls in my way. At such times, I'm unable to control myself. Signed, you. No! You. To avoid prison, you became me. A form which is now a prison to you. Since then, I've tried to subdue myself enough to keep from changing, but that's breaking down. I can feel you screaming to come out. Your voice emerging at times. I thought perhaps in a month's time I might be able to find a cure, and if not, then I could find my own death, but now I'm sure that a cure is impossible, and I'm too much a coward. I think you're going to like things on this side. All those little rules, those little limitations we put on ourselves, they don't matter anymore. Think about it, the two of us, you and me, escaping to America, Africa, anywhere. The pleasure was far better than we expected. The whore was only too willing to do her business. I recall all, and it thrills me. There was no scream when we cut. I was more vexed the head wouldn't come off. I wish to God I'd had the cane. I would have loved to plunge it hard into her. The bitch opened like a ripe peach. I decided next time I'm going to rip all out. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! I put my old knife to her white throat, and for my change her life I did take. And down the stairs I ran nimbly, saying, damn my old boots. I'm well paid. For the devil had opened a dark doorway to hell, and the spirit of killing was in me. Please. I don't want to die. Don't worry. I'm not going to kill you. You can't really take a life that's never been lived. Oh, goodbye. Another most horrible murder was perpetrated in Whitechapel yesterday morning at an early hour. As a police constable was on his beat in an obscure thoroughfare, he came upon the body of a woman with her throat cut from ear to ear. On arrival of a doctor, she was removed to the mortuary, where an examination revealed the fact that there were many other wounds upon her person. Though lifeless, she was not quite cold, showing that the crime had not been long committed. Late in the day, she was identified as a woman named Nichols, who had led a loose and miserable life, and had at one time been an inmate of the Lambeth workhouse. It was found that besides the wound on her throat, The lower part of the abdomen was completely ripped open, with the bowels protruding. The wound extended nearly to her breast and must have been affected with a large knife. As the corpse lay in the mortuary, it presented a ghastly sight. The victim seemed to be between 35 and 40 years of age and measured 5 feet 2 inches in height. The hands were bruised and bore evidence of having engaged in a severe struggle. There was the impression of a ring having been worn on one of the deceased fingers, but there was nothing to show that it had been wrenched from her in a struggle. Some of the front teeth had also been knocked out, and the face was bruised on both cheeks and very much discoloured. The deceased wore a rough brown ulster with large buttons in front. Her clothes were torn and cut up in several places, bearing evidence of the ferocity with which the murder was committed. I decoyed the woman into the house, slayed her in the yard, robbed her of her sham rings, inflicted nameless indignities on the dead body, indignity upon indignity, horror upon horror, and got clean away. The house teemed with life. It was near the hour of rising for most of the inmates, yet no human being heard a cry or an alarm. The swiftness of it, the perfect mystery of it, are heightening effects of terror. The wildest imagination has never combined in fiction so many daring improbabilities as have here been accomplished in fact. I made such arrangements as I thought would ensure success. I put nearly a third of the force out into plain clothes, with instructions to do everything which under ordinary circumstances a constable should not do. But it was subversive of discipline, but I had them well supervised by senior officers. The weather was lovely, and I have little doubt they thoroughly enjoyed themselves, sitting on doorsteps, smoking their pipes, hanging about public houses and gossiping with all the sundry. In addition to this, I visited every butcher's shop in the city and every nook and corner which might, by any possibility, be the murderer's place of concealment. Did he live close to the scene of action, or did he, after committing a murder, make his way with lightning speed to some retreat in the suburbs? Did he carry something with him to wipe the blood from his hands, or did he find means of washing them? These are questions I ask myself almost every hour of every day.
Begin with the rings. 1 ring, 2 ring, bitch. It took a while before I could wrench them off your fucking fingers. I should have stuffed them down your throat. Deep within every man, every person, there's a second person bursting to come out.